Okay, are you ready to build some glutes? Glutes are this big muscle here, and for this workout, we're going to do this lying on our back, and it's pretty much all glute bridges, which I'll show you what they are. So if you're newly postnatal, then come down to a side lying position by coming onto your side, or if you have regained that core function, you're going to breathe out and come down nice and controlled. Make sure you can just about touch the backs of the heels with your fingers and that your feet are roughly hip width apart. We're just going to start with glute bridges, coming all the way up and down. So we've got 45 seconds on. We've got a 15-second break, and we're going to be doing this 4 times before we switch to a different exercise. So for these glute bridges, you want to think about pushing through those feet, rolling through the vertebrae, one after the other, to come into this bridge position. So knees, hips, and shoulders should all be in line, and you're going to hold it there just for a second until you roll back down. So really think about the muscles that you're using, squeezing through those glutes, making sure you're breathing. And we have a 15-second break. So these breaks are yours to do whatever you like with, but I strongly advise you might want to have a little bit of a stretch by twisting through those hips. Let's go. 3, 2, and roll all the way up. Hold this here. Come all the way down. So imagine you have a tray across your hips and you had some water on it. Ignore the fact that you're obviously coming up and down, but what you want to do is to try and keep the level of that water the same on both sides. So you do not want to, or you want to avoid having any kind of tipping from one side to the other. So we've got 3, 2, and 1. We've got another 15-second break. Now, if you are finding these too easy, then do feel free to grab a baby or some weights and you can hold them in place on your hips. Let's go again. So that when you're coming up and down, you just got an extra bit of resistance and challenge. Make sure you're breathing. Try and relax the upper half of your body. And things to watch out for in terms of technique are as you're coming up. We sometimes have a tendency for our knees to come out a little bit like this. And what we want to do is to just try and keep them the same distance apart the whole way through. So if you're struggling with that, then you can either place a pillow in between your thighs just to help you keep that tension on those inner legs. This is our last break for this exercise, and then we'll take it into something different. So enjoy. You can do a couple of pelvic tilts. I really like those, and we're going to get ready to go back into our last round. Make sure you keep breathing. If you want to get brownie points, then as you come up, you can think about breathing out and gently gathering in that pelvic floor and releasing fully when you are down. So you can combine the breathing out as you come up, engaging through that pelvic floor, and releasing when you're down. So it's breathing out as you come up, breathing in as you come back down. You've got last 10 seconds. So you should be feeling this through the glutes. You'll probably feel it a little bit through the backs of the legs and also maybe on the inside of the legs as well. Great, that is our first exercise round done. Second thing we have, we're going to hold that glute position and you're going to pulse it. So imagine you're coming down an inch and up an inch and down an inch and up an inch. But for now, you have got a 30-second break, so use it wisely. Just feel like stretching. Stretch however you want. You might also want to remove a child that's decided to crawl on top of your face. That always seems to happen, doesn't it? As soon as you lie down, there is a child somewhere that just thinks it's fantastic to jump on you. Okay, let's go. So we're going to come all the way up. Hold this here, pulse down, pulse up, and we're going to hold this up here. So if you think that the glute bridges before were easy, then this should add an extra bit of challenge. For those of you that find this challenging enough and you need to have a little bit of a break in between to avoid your technique going out the window, then by all means come down, reset, and then come straight back up again into those pulses. Make sure you're breathing. And we've got 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. How's it feeling? You should start to feel that burn in those glutes. Okay, let's come up again. Rolling all the way up, getting ourselves into a position where knees, hips, and shoulders are in a nice straight line. And we're coming down an inch and up again. Again, slow it down. We spend so much of our lives moving around at a fast pace, thinking what we're going to have for dinner. Do not start thinking about what you're having for dinner. But you know, our mind is all over the place. Just focus on what is going on right here, right now. Let's just try and be in tune with our body. I mean, my bum, definitely feeling it now. Good thing though, we've got last 3, 2, and 1. Come down. The good thing about stretching is that it's also personal, so you can move and stretch as and what feels good for you. Right, get back into position and let's come up again. Don't forget, keep an eye on what those knees are doing. We want to avoid them coming out like this, and we want to keep everything in a nice straight line. If you want to add an extra bit of challenge, then again, you can have some weights on those hips, or you can also hold those hands up in front of you. All this does, it just takes the backs of the shoulders off the ground, and it means you've got less of your back in contact with the floor, so you need to have more of those stabilizing muscles working. Good, small little movements. For the last 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. I do believe we have one more left. So let's get ourselves ready for it. 3, 2, and 1. Get yourself into position and small little pulses down and up. This is the last round, so we can do this. Make sure you're breathing. It's definitely not something I want you to do to hold your breath. Keep the breathing nice and steady. And we've got last 10 seconds. Keep it up. If you need to take a break, by all means take a break. But always look to do your best. And we've got 3, 2, and come all the way down. Well done. Okay, so we have our break before the next exercise. 30 seconds, well, 20 seconds now, just to enjoy and prepare yourself mentally. So next exercise, I'm not too sure how much you're going to thank me for this, but we're literally doing nothing. All we're doing is holding. We're holding that glute bridge. So are you ready? 3, 2, come all the way up. You're just going to hold this here. It's actually harder than it sounds, because your body is constantly making tiny little adjustments to keep you in this place, and especially some parts of your body might get slightly fatigued, so then other parts might need to kind of come in and give some support. But when you're in this position, again, check those knees. Try and keep a bit of tension through them and keep those hips up nice and high. And also just keep these bum cheeks nice and engaged. Good. First round is almost done. We have got 3, 2, come down, breathe a sigh of relief. It's really nice being in a room where I don't have children. I might just fall asleep. Okay, let's go up again. Let's roll up, get ourselves in this position, push through those heels. Imagine you're creating a really nice sturdy frame. So you're pushing those heels in. Those knees are out, and you've also got the contact with the ground here. So imagine you are not moving. You are made out of steel. Your bum will be made out of steel by the end of this. Keep focusing, squeezing through those glutes. If you feel those hips sag, just squeeze a little bit more. We lose a lot of our bum strength during pregnancy, and so it's a really good idea to rebuild it back up. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down, nice and slow. Mainly because it helps protect our lower back, but also because we need our glutes. I mean, aside from the fact they help keep our jeans on. No, I'm kidding. Right, let's come up again. No, we need our glutes. We need our glutes. They help push us forwards. So just making sure that we've got a good rebalance of muscles after we've had our baby, because pregnancy does change a lot of things. And in pregnancy, you might have known, or you might have noticed that you've got that kind of mum bum where the muscles in your bum just seem to disappear. That's because when we're pregnant, our weight shifts slightly and our sort of weight distribution shifts. So we start to use different muscles. And one of the muscles we don't use is our glutes. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Last 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Right, we have got our last round coming up. How are you finding this? I do hope that you are still breathing. Ready? Let's go up again. Push all the way through. Now we're in this position. I just want you to try and squeeze one bum cheek and then the other. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Your hips might move ever so slightly, but they also might be fairly still. See if you can squeeze one bum cheek and then the other. Then also just try and relax. Squeeze one and relax the other. It's really good. We lose that kind of mind-body connection with our body. And so just getting this back can be really important. Right, let's hold and squeeze like we've never squeezed before for 3, 2, and 1. Roll all the way down. So that is the end of that set. You're just going to straighten up through that leg. And take that knee in. Whilst we're here, let's just have a little circle around through the ankle. That bell is just to tell me that we've got a 30-second break. And let's circle round the other way. Put it back down and change over. Hug that knee in towards the ceiling. A little circle round. First one way and then the other. Right, you've got glute bridges again. This time, pull those feet in even closer to your bum, heels off the ground, and we're going to do this so that we're also getting our calves involved. We're getting our calf muscles involved, so these are the muscles at the backs of the lower legs. And we're also working through the muscles in the foot. So you might have noticed when you're pregnant that due to all the different hormones in our body, you might have lost the arches in your foot or become even more flat-footed. For some of you, you might still be flat-footed and you might have increased a shoe size. I have. So I'm doing what I can to sort of rebuild these arches. And this is a really nice exercise to do. Just relax, we've hit our break, we've got 10 seconds left. So by strengthening through the feet as well with this exercise, we are doing more than just working on our glutes. Okay, let's come up again. Again, try and keep things nice and slow. Give your bum a good squeeze as you come all the way up, just for a second, and then come back down. You can close your eyes. Listen to the dulcet tones of my voice. Pretty sure my kids would disagree with you. Okay, we've got 15 seconds. Keep things nice and steady. Keep lifting those heels off the ground. Try and press through every single toe. And take your break, 15-second break. Do what you need to with that break. You can have a little wriggle around. Right, pull those toes in even closer to your bum. Spread those toes out, and let's come up and down again. Right, so I can give you a bit of an anatomy lesson with your glutes. Your glutes are made up of 3 different muscles. You've got your glute max, your glute med, your glute medius, and the glute minimus. So it's a bit like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. You have got one big one medium muscle, and one small muscle. And together they make up your glutes. 3, 2, and 1. Take a break. If you feel like it's hurting through the feet, then you can just pull those toes backwards a little bit and just stretch out through the front of the foot. Okay, last round. Get those heels off the ground, press through those toes, come all the way up and back down. If you want to add a bit of extra challenge to this one, then feel free to hold the bum up and pulse. This one can be a bit of a killer, so what you might want to do is to mix it up a bit. Make these exercises yours. I'm definitely feeling it working through the muscles in my feet right now. And we have our rest. Let's hug both knees in nice and tight. And we're just going to flip our foot so it's up towards the ceiling, and the other one as well. We have got, starting from now, a 30-second break. So in this happy baby pose, you just want to draw those knees in towards the armpits. From here, you can have a little bit of a rock around, and you should feel a nice stretch through the inside of your thighs as well. Okay, so next exercise we're going to do are kind of similar but different. You're going to butterfly those feet together so that the sole of the feet are touching. Knees are going to come out nice and wide, and we're taking it into frog pumps. So we have, let's go, timer started, 45 seconds, first round. This is great because it kind of works the inside of the thighs, and it also gives us a nice bit of a stretch as well. So you are pressing the soles of the feet together. So you have got a smaller surface area with which to get your balance. So you might feel a lot more unsteady with this one. But that's not a bad thing. That generally can mean that we need to have a little bit more work on the sort of core stabilizer muscles. Those deep core muscles. Take those hips off the ground, hold it here for a second, come back down, enjoy your rest. Got the last 10 seconds. I find this really nice just to stretch out through the inside of the thighs. And let's go again. Coming all the way up and down. Up and down. Good, push those feet together. Again, if you want to make this a little more challenging, then get the elbows off the ground as well, because otherwise they give you just the extra bit of stability. Doesn't matter what you need, but always try and push yourself slightly. Okay, we have got 10 seconds left. Focus on your breathing, focus on these hips, keep pressing those feet together. And just relax. Okay, are you ready? Press those feet together, hands can come down to the ground, and we're just gonna roll that bum off the ground, hold it there for a second, and come back down again. This is our last exercise. After this, well, it's our last round of exercises. You can take a break, you can go and have a bath. You can make the dinner that you've been thinking about the whole way through this. Good. Press those feet together, hips come all the way up, take it up and down with control. So these, easy to do if we're going to go fast. But that's why we want to slow things down and really get the stabilizer muscles working. And we have got 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Let's just hug one knee in. Gentle, gentle, little stretch out, hug the other knee in. And, oh, I've put in a 45-second cool down. For this, you're just gonna take the ankle over the knee, you're gonna hold that knee in, and with the other hand, you're gonna push that knee away. Some people might find this a nice stretch, some people might not, but just see how it goes. Hold it for as long as feels good for you and then change over. Good to have you with me on this glute workout. Looking forward to seeing you at some others.